sure these two people are like always pushing towards it.
Yep.
We have like that one guy in hell.
Middle, we got to scrap up. So.
Yeah.
How's everyone standing up? Yeah, nobody knows. It's like series is over.
Like hours?
Maybe.
All right, so there you go. You see the teams. Final boss talking about strategy. Instinct, wondering why everybody's standing up. It's the 7th inning stretch here at the MLG Pro Circuit Championship Sunday. And we're here at Game 9. This is going to be King of the Hill in the pit. Now, Puckett and I are excited because as we're having this game go on, we've got somebody up here in the booth with us. We've got Legend Pimps. Now, you're sitting here, you're watching this, and you're trying to find out who you're playing next, right?
Right.
So far, based on what you've seen, who would you rather face up against?
Well, we want to play Instinct because we're already 3-0 against them in the series, so I would love to play them over Final Boss because we just got done landing with the Final Boss, and they're pretty good with our strat.
All right, so here we go. We're going to kick it off with strong side from Final Boss. As we said, this is King of the Hill on the pit. Puckett, take it away.
And the match is all tied up 4-4, and it's the best of 11. So first team to reach 6 will meet up with your team, Legend, in the championship bracket, or championship match, actually. So, like you said, you'd rather see Instinct get there. Do you think they can pull it out here against Final Boss?
I don't know. Final Boss is really good at King of the Hill, so I would like to see them Instinct beat them, but I don't know. There's no talent at this point.
What would be Final Boss's strengths here on pit King of the Hill?
If they gave Ogre to the sniper.
At red sniper, snipe. He's down red frags, red short.
So right now we got Ogre 1 with the sniper. Let's check him out now. Putting a shot on Lunchbox, who's in the green box. Now, who is the, if you see a player with a sniper, who is the one you back down from?
Ogre 2, always.
Ogre 2, always.
He's kind of nasty sometimes. Now, the thing about Final Boss that always impresses me is it seems like, especially so far this season, they're just out there, they're running. It doesn't seem like they're running around crazy, but these guys will shift off. You'll see Ogre 1 doing objective work suddenly, Ogre 2 in a support role where typically they would be primary slayers. Have you noticed any big difference with Halo 3 in terms of the way teams are playing?
I think if every player is well-rounded, that's the easiest way for the team to win the game. And Final Boss is very well-rounded, in my opinion.
I'm pushing down here. I'm here, dude. I'm here. Go top turret right now. Okay, watch this. Spawn behind me. Well, we're hopping on board now with Victory X. He just took out Ogre 1 with his sniper. Now he's got a sniper of his own. So Victory X sitting here in Sword. Not the best place to be sitting when you have sniper in the hills right below you.
Yeah, typically I would.
Watch it down. Typically you do what? I'm sorry.
Typically I would. If I had the sniper, I would be on one of the turrets at least. You have a good protection, because of the shield up top. The only time that you should have the sniper down low is when you know that none of the enemies are going to be near you.
Gotcha, but we have Victory X now pushing back in. The hill has moved to the other side of the map. Now we saw Final Boss make a transition, and it seems it caught Instinct completely off guard.
I got killed from our training. You gotta wait.
Victory X taken out once again, but on the other side of the map, we have Roy here with the new overshield. Now, how important is the overshield on pit? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think the OS is probably the number one priority. Besides the rockets, once you grab the OS, you can basically push up, and the rest of your teammates should do the same thing. As soon as you start pushing up, they should be right behind you, or at least on the other side of the map, pushing with you at the same time.
Now, these side hills, it seems that teams pick up much more time than they do at the middle hill. What is the ideal setup?
I would have one guy in the hill, and then I would have one guy on the turret. The guy in the hill would typically watch the hallway, and then the other two players should be at least watching Swordbridge or rockets at the same time. Kind of change it up. If you start seeing one player push from one side of the map, typically the others are close by.
Well, right now we're checking out as Ogre 1 picks up the rockets. Walshy's got a sniper, and so does Strong Side. So Final Boss looks like they just ran into a Halo arsenal.
It could be ugly from here.
And Roy is the first one to feel the wrath of that sniper rifle coming from Strong Side. Let's check him out as he's making his way to top turret like you were talking about.
Exactly.
I got it.
Our court, with the other turret. 2 guys in the court.
Now, as I was mentioning in our cast earlier, I really haven't heard much about Imp, Soldier, and Fear. Can you tell us a little bit about your teammates that are on Team Classic?
Well, we were always preparing for tournaments, and we would always want to go, and at the last minute we would always change it up, and we wouldn't end up going together, but we were always online champions, and we finally got to put that to the test when we got to Meadowlands.
It might be our. They're going to be coming to Gamma. Watch Gamma. right, well, we're on board now with Macchio from Instinct. His team already trailing by about 30 seconds. We've seen Final Boss pull away in the early parts of the games in the objective, and Instinct unable to come back. If you're a player on Instinct, what do you need to do in this situation?
If I'm a player on Instinct, I'm going to make sure my communication is 10 out of 10, and I'm going to let my players on my team know exactly where the opposing players are. And you need to make sure that you get control. And if you're just running around, like a random player that doesn't know what they're doing, you're not going to win the game.
Once again, hearing it from a pro who's sitting in the championship bracket waiting to play one of these teams, communication is the key. All you players at home, you got to be able to tell your teammates where your opponents are and also where you are and what you're doing and how you can help your team.
Well, we're checking out now. Roy on a freaking run right here. He just picked up a double kill. His team has picked up 20 seconds in the meantime, and Ogre 1 finally put a stop to it.
Puckett, I'm looking at the energy from Instinct. I'm looking at the body language. They still don't seem like they're completely in this game. It's almost as if they feel like they're the ones who got knocked down to the loser bracket.
Well, we're hopping back on board with Ogre 1. He's the guy with the sniper rifle. And he is looking to do some dirty damage.
And he is the only one alive, too, so he needs to use that sniper wisely.
Now, what do you think about that? He could have fired off a shot. Did he hold it for a reason?
Well, obviously, you just saw that. He just sniped Roy, and now they're aware of where he's at, so he needs to be careful.
Dodging a second grenade, nearly took him down. On the other side of the map, we have Victory X, who's up here in the sniper rifle tower. He's in the turret position, as you guys like to call it.
Top turret!
And he just blamed strong side right there. Now, what do you think about Victory X? In Halo 2, he became kind of a silent name in the middle of the season. Towards the end, he started heating up again. How is he in Halo 3?
I think he's a really good player. I mean, based on the 3-0 that we ended up giving them, he still put up a fight on his team. I don't know.
All right,
on the 3-0. I got to pause that right. Just based on the fact that we embarrassed them, he was the guy who stood up. I like that. That's classy. You're up here at the booth and you're still letting them have it a little bit.
I got to be confident. If you're not confident in Kagi, you're not going to win.
I hear you. I believe you 100%. You believe you win or else you don't. That's the way it goes in any sport.
Well, Victory still trying to sit up top. Now, I'm noticing that no one from Instinct is in the hill. There's 4 players alive. They have control of the rockets. They have control of the sniper rifle, but they're not playing an objective game type.
Well, I mean, you just seen a player on Final Boss had the overshield, and he ended up lifting on the turret, which is strong side. The reason why they weren't in the hill at the moment was because they needed to find out exactly where every player on Final Boss was, and now that they ended up locating them, they had to give them a big fight because of the overshield.
All right, well, we're checking out as Roy is picking up easy hill time, but over here we got strong side with the sniper rifle trying to sneak around the Instinct base. There's Lunchbox, and Lunchbox hits the melee strong side just a bit too high to connect with his. Let's hop back over with Victor X, who's pushing through green box.
Inhale weak.
Now, out of all the teams you played this weekend, who would you say gave you the biggest challenge? Who do you expect to be finishing very high in San Diego?
Actually, Carbon gave us a really, even though it was a 3-0, they still gave us a run for our money. Every game was very close, 50-49 games, and then the Hill games were like, we would win by 10 seconds, and I mean, it would just come down to the last 1 minute of the game to who would win.
Now, everyone on our forums is hating on Carbon. Anything to silence the haters? What do you have to say about Carbon's performance? Who's hot for them, who's not?
Carbon's really good. I think if they would have had a land before the event, I think they would have done much better, but based on their team and speaking with other pros, I think Ghostayame was their strongest player.
Which is interesting. Again, we mentioned how Ghostayame was getting lit up on the forums prior to this event.
He backed up. He's coming right now. He's moving right now.